provocative.
There are Syrian fighter jets flying above me, and they'd like to drop a very large bomb on the rebel soldiers I'm sitting with. Until now, we've been joking with each other over coffee, but I'm worried their next punchline may be a bullet to my head. Abu Khalid has just said that I'm more difficult than the regime, and I'm not quite sure how to take that, but I'm going to keep on talking, and if I'm here in an hour, then clearly it was a joke, and if I'm not, then clearly it was something else. Probably best you don't interpret that. I'm in Lebanon, waiting to cross over into war-ravaged Syria to meet with some Free Syrian Army rebels. Back home, our team of Middle East analysts is using open mind to connect the dots between posts on social media and YouTube videos coming in from Syria. They've weeded through the misinformation coming from Assad's Syrian electronic army and are hoping to single out a credible source for me to meet just across the border. Now, convincing a group of Syrian rebels to sit down and have a chat is actually proving quite difficult to do. So while I wait for the go-aheads across the border, I've come down to check out the Beirut nightlife. You see, just 100 miles in that direction, there's a civil war raging. But walking around Beirut on a Saturday night, you wouldn't think so. People in Beirut think that this is the next dance capital of the world. And I reckon they're right. You don't really get how serious these people actually are about partying until you roll up, and then it all becomes quite clear. We have this idea that the Middle East is this repressive place, but the Beirut club scene is anything but. Alcohol flowing freely, casual hookups, and not a burqa in sight. Every bit of excess we know and love in the States is all perfectly at home here. Nobody gives a second thought to a 6'6" Welshman walking among them. These people know what's up when it comes to getting down. But even among the flashing lights of the discotheque, there is a dark side to the Beirut nightlife. Are we expecting company? This is my new friend, Michel El Friadis. He's a well-known personality in Beirut's music scene. Think of him as the Lebanese equivalent of Simon Cowell. And even he's ready to start shooting if the shit hits the fan.
If someone calls from outside and tell us that there's someone entering, we can shoot outside.
It's like they've accepted that violence can erupt at any moment. And maybe they party twice as hard because of it. But when shots are fired, it's time to get the hell out. Partying is all well and good, but it's not why I came here. After one hell of a hangover, it's time to move on. I've been in Lebanon for weeks now, and the thought of heading to Syria has just become even more terrifying. But we've had luck connecting with a group of rebels via WhatsApp, an iPhone messaging program that some people use for sexting, but Syrian rebels used to keep in touch without having their messages intercepted by the Assad regime. And we've got him, a man who calls himself Abu Khalid, a commander in the Free Syrian Army, who's agreed to meet in the border city of Arsal. Crossing the border, it suddenly becomes all too real. I'm entering an active war zone in a country that is still run by a madman who's willing to kill thousands of his own people to stay in power. I'm going to go and grab a cigar because I feel like this conversation's going to need one. I only have one shot to break the ice with these guys. I've told my interpreter to tell them to expect a friendly giant. It's a shot in the dark, and one I hope that doesn't end with me shot in the desert. We finally arrived and I can feel my bones shaking as we approach. After Abu Khalid puts on a mask and signals that we can start filming, I blurt out the first thing that comes into my head. This is Abu Khalid just told me this is the first time that he's worn this hat. And I just said to him that I liked it, but I didn't think the bobble made him look that aggressive. You need to cut the bobble off. Do not let the enemy see you with this on. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. With the ice officially broken, we sit down for a little war talk over a cup of coffee. Life in Syria. And how many groups like yours are there operating in this area?
مجموعات بحدود ال 300 يعني إذا بدنا نجمعهم مع بعضهم كأشخاص بحدود ال 17,000 مقاتل انشقوا من النظام الأسدي وانضموا لجيش الحر.
In terms of the offensive strikes that you're doing, How do you coordinate with other Free Syrian Army groups?
المجموعات الثانية الضباط بيجتمعوا مع بعضهم، بيرسموا الخريطة إنه في عملية، ببلغونا، نبعت قسم من عنا وقسم بتم عنا مشان نقل الجرحى. إذا صار جرحى بالعملية، العملية اللي بدها تصير إنه فيها النقطة بدنا نضربها. بيجوها من ميلتين، سكروا عليها من ميلتين، الثالث اللي بده يفر من النظام اللي بده يهرب بيبين علينا. ما في خوف الحمد لله. في عملية كل العالم لبست وطلعت على العملية. قلب ما عاد في، قلب ميت.
I find it really sad that you say that your heart's been taken. The noise I recognise as jet engines materialises. The tension and atmosphere of the room immediately changes. I don't know if you can hear that outside, Tony. These guys have been very welcoming, happy even to have me along, but I can see the look in their eyes has changed. Everyone comes inside, everyone grabs their guns, and they all start to whisper. Above us, the Assad regime's MiG fighters are out on a reconnaissance mission. They're looking for this stronghold. It's one of the most valuable places for the FSA, because from here they can smuggle wounded soldiers into Lebanon for treatment. If we get too loud, we're all dead. Even if we weren't in this together before, we are now. I've got to say my heartbeat's gone up a little bit since I heard that jet. I think it's probably time that we wrapped up and we got back down to our cell. The nightclubs and Porsches and Harley Davidsons of Beirut just seem a universe away from this place. It's just so barren, so desolate and so austere. To think, just days ago I was sipping champagne and riding around in the back of a custom limousine styled after the Batmobile. The contrast is just stunning. It's hard to imagine how Abu Khalid and his men still have a sense of humour. They're just really passionate about what they do. You just can't fault their focus. And they're not afraid of anything. They're not afraid to die. And that is something which is just so far away from Beirut, it's ridiculous.